Blake, you got a quick look at the lineup for us here?
Yeah, Eli Bookout in the 121, Aiden Line Gang in the 18A, Hayden Hansen in the 319, Cole Schroeder in the 3, Talon Turner in the 14T, Brandon Carr in the 46, Blake Scott 29, Trey Zorn 3Z, Bradley Cox 45X, and Max Crabtree 88M.
It's a good jump by Aiden Line Gang, making his way up and around the outside of Bookout. He'll take off to the early lead here in Heat 2.
Cole Valley, Illinois native, off to a good start, making it 3 wide already from mid-pack. How about that move from Max Crabtree, who started tail end of the field? He's already passed 3 cars as Trey Zorn's trying to get back in the battle.
We've seen Trey Zorn not afraid to hang it out and try to make his way forward. That is an aggressive driver who knows the value of positions here in the heat races and the shootout. Going to the top side as they're almost 3 wide for a second.
Trey Zorn trying to make this track wide. He'll go up to the high side and pick up a spot. Now set his sights on Max Crabtree. Crabtree up from 10th to 4th, Chris Wilner.
How about that? Biggest mover so far out of these 2 heat races. He's not done, but Trey Zorn's trying to make a battle out of it in that 5th spot. Still trying to run about a half lane higher than Crabtree that time by. He'll hang it out top side in 1 and 2, trying to get the run down to 3 and 4.
And you can see there's a distinct slicked off groove through the middle of this racetrack already, giving us multiple lines to work through. Zorn trying to prove that the high groove is there. He's up high. Crabtree down low in the 88, the battle for 4th.
And the battle for 2nd's heating up too as well. So battle for 4th, battle for 2nd is again Crabtree trying to hang on here at the white flag this time. Next time around, the checkered will wave. Can Trey Zorn make something happen to get himself another prized spot inside the top 5? This time, no, as the white flag waves. One hits the wall heavy right in front of the broadcast booth.
Talon Turner.
And Talon Turner absolutely thundered the outside wall, bringing out the caution. Blake, you jumped out of your seat
You
there.
can feel that one. And Earl Hoon Jr., you've got Heat Race 1 winner up on the ramp as we've got action right in front of us, Earl.
Yeah, thank you, Blake Anderson. And Cameron LaRose, you're starting this year off better. I think last year, you finished 8th in a B main number 2. Now you're able to win heat race number 1, putting yourself in a pretty good spot. Does that relieve some, weight off your shoulders right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year we weren't very great, and in practice this year we were terrible too. So we changed a bunch of stuff now, and we're able to get the car more workable. So we'll keep working on it, getting forward. I can't believe I drew the 1. What a deal that was, but it's good to get out of the way, get a heat race win. I got to thank everyone that gets me out here. I wasn't supposed to be here. Just 2 weeks ago, I got peer pressured into it. So Andrew Kiddo got me here, and then Scott Mears, Avanti Windows and Doors, everyone that pitched in, my girlfriend and my family, just everyone that makes it happen.
Cameron LaRose, guys, the winner of heat race number 1.
Thank you, Earl. Talon Turner of Power Eye Notes, unfortunately piloting one of the Driven Midwest house cars, and he thumped that thing. It's our iBox Springs replay. And let's watch it coming right into your home.
Oh, bang!
That was big. Something clearly breaking on the 14T there.
Guys, I went and took a look at that car. Not only did it get all that front end, there was a torsion arm off the rear, and there was a lot of fluid dropping down in front of at the front axle as well. So it's got a radiator hose or something up there underneath the front of the chassis. He hit that wall hard.
Hard enough to give Blake Anderson his first woo moment here in the booth. That'll happen, by the way.
You'll have that in big-time auto racing.
Especially where our broadcast booth is. The Brian Kapinski broadcast booth situated just feet from turn 4. And, action comes at you quick, doesn't it?
It happens quick on the 5th mile racetrack. As we are back to green, Aiden Line Gang leading them back off. Showing 7 on the board, so see if we get a white or a checkered here. We're going to get a white, so we'll go to overtime here on this first race. Meanwhile, Cole Schroeder taking advantage. He's going to get by Eli Bookout for 2nd. Valuable points there for him.
4-2 for him as coming around to take the checkered flag is Aiden Line Gang. So Aiden in the 18A will capture heat race number 2 from the pole, or excuse me, from the outside pole. Cole Schroeder from 4 to 2. Eli Bookout, Trey Zorn, and Max Crabtree from 10th up to 5th.
That was an impressive battle between Zorn and Crabtree. Zorn committed to that high side.
Yeah. Certainly did. It was fun to watch. He won't be the only one as we get these heat races rolling through, that's for sure.
Well, and here's going to be a really fascinating look at where this racetrack is early, because the guy who is usually here in the booth with us analyzing this track and where to be starts on the pole for heat race number 3. Clinton Boyle's going to be doing a lot of racing here over the course of this. It's Boyles and Tanner Tucker in the front row, Levi Hank and Chase Highland in row number 2, Garrett Howard and Eddie Hamblin in row 3, Dylan Berglund and Chris Counter in row number 4, Scotty Milan and Jasper Zygafuse coming up in row number 5. Gesundheit.
Clint Boyle's running the special helmet scheme here at the shootout for his niece. It's got Minnie Mouse all over it, too. He did one for his nephew. I believe it was, the Baby Shark theme?
Baby Shark for
That's
Wheelin'.
right.
For
Wheelin'. Yeah,
Wheelin'.
for Wheelin'. And now his niece, he's got the Minnie Mouse.
Niece win.
What a great situation Clinton has got himself into here for the shootout as well. Running for Bernie at Indy Race Parts, part of the 10J stables that is there between him, Carson Perkins, and Emerson Axum. What a talented.
Ricky Thornton Jr.
And Ricky Thornton Jr. What a talented group of guys that they've got up in that camp working on cars, trading information. Although, interestingly enough, I didn't know if you guys picked this up, RTJ's car is not camped with them.
And all these cars are for sale, Bernie posted. Bernie and
Always.
Betsy always have top-notch drivers in their equipment.
If you're in the market, check it out as Boyles leads the field to green. Winged Outlaw heat race number 3 underway. He gets the whole shot to turns 1 and 2. Millbridge regular Tanner Tucker trying to challenge on the outside.
Wilner making his first dollar of the broadcast.
You're right. There
Work
it
our
is.
way through. Boyle's going to stick down low. Caution lights out and around the racetrack. Waiting. Well, while we've got a couple of seconds, let's kick things up top. We have got a K1 Race Gear interview with Chris Moore. Chris?
Yeah, I've got our winner of heat number 2, Aiden Line Gang. Aiden, tell me, what did you find there on that initial start to get the jump into turn 1?
I just got a good jump, and the other guy didn't take off quite as good. And I don't know, we just found it.
Got to feel good. Quick little good run here for you to get yourself maybe set up to get into a qualifier.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Like to thank all my sponsors: Valley Construction, Custom Turf Applications, the Barber Family, Country Financial, Bull and Speed and Performance, Waltman Farms, the Wrightsville family, everybody that helps us out back home.
There you go, guys.
Well, green flag once again, debris on the racetrack picked up. We're back underway. It's Boyles up top, and now Levi Hank moving the TKH 21 down to the bottom to threaten him.
Yeah, how about that move? Boyles choosing to go to the top side, actually to defend originally on Tanner Tucker, left the bottom open, and Levi doing a nice job wrapping the bottom here, trying to keep tabs here with Clint Boyles.
We've seen Boyles in everything from a wing sprint through a lightning sprint. Now crew chief of the Vermeer Motorsports 55. Caution lights out on the track as he's leading the way. And once again, something wrong, somebody around. And that looks like Z-Fuse, the 191 over in the corner.
Was running in the 9th spot. Clinton Boyles, fastest lap of the race thus far, too. Clinton kind of right now seems to be a little bit in his league of his own. Fastest lap ran 11:7:38. Levi Hank with taking advantage of that second restart, though, guys, jumping into the 2nd spot. Chase Highland on the move as well in the 5X.
Keep your eye on Scotty Milan, veteran hero of the event. Started in the back row. He's picked his way to 7th, and, couple laps caution is the exact playbook for those guys to come from the back before the field gets too spread out amongst them. Gives them a chance to jump a couple of people every time you get a restart, so...
Fortunately, Garen Howard caught up in that incident as well, was just pushed off the racetrack as we check out the iBox Springs instant replay coming at you.
Oh, up and over the left rear.
And it looked like also another car, Chris Counter, was involved in that as well, was able to scoot away. Back under the green flag, 2 laps down here in this 8-lap heat race, and Boyles shot out of a cannon here on this restart with heat control.
Clint Boyles wasting no time, jumping up to the high side as here comes Chase Highland. He'll start to close on Levi Hank for the 2nd spot.
Back in the field a little bit further, we're watching 5 and 6, make that 4 and 5. Tanner Tucker, the 32, Eddie Hamlin in the 43. Hamlin smooth up around the top, and Tucker right now kind of getting caught out in that muddle middle, Chris. You see him get the right side tires into the slick as Hank's going to lose a position.
Yeah, just bobbing on the bottom, got a little bit too sideways, and around the outside goes Chase Highland. So Highland is 2nd, Hank back to 3rd. Then it's Tucker, Eddie Hamlin, Dylan Berglund trying to keep tabs. There's Scotty Milan still trying to make that outside work in the 97.
Trying to jump up to the 6th spot. He'll go to the high side, go to work on Eddie Hamlin. Hamlin rolls the bottom. 5 more bonus points on the line at the passing points that Caleb Hart talked about at the top of the broadcast. We've got a yellow at the bottom of turn number 4, and it is Chris Counter who is running in the 9th spot. And guys, boy, the 9th spot right now. 2 yellows in this heat race, both coming from the 9th slot.
Snake bit early here, heat race number 3 of our Winged Outlaw, the WFO. We're family oriented.
As I was telling you guys. Yep.
Yes, a Winged Outlaw. Actually, a Midwest series of racing. We'll tell you a little bit more about that as we get further into the program here tonight. Big thank you to WFO jumping on board for the class sponsorship here at the Tulsa Shootout. We've got 6 showing complete on the board. That means green, white, checkered restart time, and money moves will be coming in and through this field. Levi Hink needs to jump that spot back up if he wants to have a good qualifier score.
You mentioned Scotty Milo. That's a guy that I'm going to keep an eye on here. You talked about very experienced in a micro, has run some 410 and 360 sprint car stuff with the wing on top, but can he take advantage of this restart and pick up a spot or two? Levi Hink, you mentioned it, Chris, hit the berm. That cost him the second spot, and he's taking the right-hand turn into the work area and potentially up the ramp, flat left front for Levi Hink. A tough break for him. He was running in that third spot.
Yeah, you ask any driver in the pit area, these restarts, starts and restarts are critical. Who can make the most of it? Green flag is back in the air. Boyles to the top side. Here comes Hyland peeking a nose to the inside this time. Milan trying to work his way around. Meanwhile, battle for third is heating up as Eddie Hamlin trying to make something happen.
Final time around the Expo Raceway for heat race number 3 for the Winged Outlaws. Lots happening. Milan has them lined up like ducks in a row on the bottom. He's going to drive around for one spot as Boyles is going to get the win. To the checkered, Scotty Milan snuck a couple at the end, 7-5 in those last couple of laps.
Last couple turns, because he had fallen back a spot there, but impressive run from Clinton Boyles. We'll have him here in the booth in just a little bit. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to tell you guys what he's seeing on the track.
So that was the Dolly Parton run for Scotty Milan, working 9 to 5.
That's right.
Not bad at all. Heat race 4 coming up. Joe's Racing Products ramp cam. It's tame up there for the time being, but we know that it's going to get a lot louder as the lineup for heat race 4 is on your screen.
Cade Mitchell will start on the pole in the 13F to his outside. Cole Roberts in the 3Y. Joshua Hewish and Maddox McBride, a former Tulsa Shootout champion, start in row number 2. Row number 3 on the inside, Autumn Christie, the Deltona, Florida native, to his outside. Wyatt Miller, the restricted Shootout champion from a year ago in the 73M. Jet Yantis, Frank Stoner, and rounding out your field, the veteran Todd Kirkman and Trey Erdman out of Coal Valley, Illinois. And that is heat race number 4.
Wow, a lot of talent coming in and through this. McBride, former junior sprint champ here of the event. Like you talked about, Miller, last year's restricted class champion. So some guys with drillers on their shelves already, going Winged Outlaw style here in our 4th heat. Not to mention Kirkman, who has got, I mean, back in the day, you raced against Todd, didn't you? Yeah.
Both him and Cole, his son, who's obviously doing wonders now in his career. But Todd, one of the, talented Indiana micro racers, always does well. A multi-time Shootout A-main starter, and always a threat when he's back. But it'll be interesting to see what he can do there from row 5.
Now, I want to make something, point something out there. We threw up the points format a little bit earlier. The heat race lineup is the posted lineup. The points are calculated off of the initial green flag start. So if somebody scratches, you don't get credit for passing points for them in the lineup. And we'll see that more as the event gets a little longer in the tooth. But if you actually start 4th coming to the green flag, that's where you're starting. It's not where you posted on the lineup as far as the passing points are considered.
Heat race number 4, green flag is in the air, and we're off and running as Cole Roberts will try to go outside in to take the lead away. But so far, we're not going to have anything because the caution flag is out.
Caden Mitchell running the A-class wing up on the top of that thing, so he's going a little less aero to the top of his package, and we've got our first, didn't like that start of it. Caden Mitchell might be getting set back a row.
And there comes into play what you were just talking about, Caleb. The passing points go off that first start, so this will shake things up.
Joshua Hewish has now got 2 spots to his credit. That's 10 it's 10 extra points as far as the format goes. Now let's see if he can hang on to it. We'll come to green. Looks better in the front row this time, and we're underway.
Boy, that got a little hairy going into turn 1 right there, Chris Wilner. Your front row nearly together. Cole Roberts up on the high side trying to make something work. He's way up high, nearly around.
Yeah, he was trying to pinch Hewish on the initial green and couldn't get it done, but the caution flag will wave. We got a pile up in turn 3 and 4, and that's Todd Kirkman high-sided on the berm.
Jet Yantis, one of California's absolute best, and back
Maddox
there.
McBride.
Yep. So those 3 will get untangled. Up top, Earl has got our co-worker, Clinton Boyles.
Yeah, how about it? The old cat in the hat. Clinton Boyles gets his heat race win. And, buddy, that was a caution beleaguered heat race. Did that feel like that was one of the longest heat races you ever had to run there in your career?
Yeah, inside this building, probably. But I was super confident in my car. Between Bernie owning these cars with Indy Race Parts, all the sponsors we got on board, Joe Axum, Carson Perkins on the wrenches, like as little micro racing I've done, I feel super, super comfortable. So that was a lot of fun. I mean, great start to the week, right? I wish I maybe could have earned a few more points, but it's a good start to the week, and we'll try to keep capitalizing from here.
Guys, I know he's our boy, but I got a feeling Clinton Boyles is going to be a force to be reckoned with here in the Indy Race Part 71S.
I think so. It's a great, great stable of cars. You mentioned Bernie. They do such a great job with preparing the race cars. Even Clinton's been hands-on all month long getting these cars, not just his, but Emerson's car, RTJ's, everybody in their stable kind of ready to go.
I don't know how much time you spent up around that pit stall today. I was there a couple of times. There's a very quiet, steady confidence amongst those guys already that you can just kind of feel emanating. Like Clinton said, he hasn't done a bunch of micro racing. He's been more of a wingless sprint car guy and a wing sprint car crew chief here lately, but he looked like a natural in behind there, and that race car and that driver combination is going to be really, really good.
And now he can just dust himself off, come down to the booth, and join us for the rest of the night as we try to get this fourth heat race underway. Hewish and Roberts on the front row, back under the green flag. Complete restart. And down to turn number 1 and 2. Cole Roberts looking like he may have the advantage, but Hewish will have a nose going into turn 3.
Joshua Hewish was hoping that last restart would stick, Chris, because he had a great start. This time, Cole Roberts was right there, but it seems like the high side off of turn number 2 just not quite there yet.
Heads up, Wyatt Miller about to enter the picture here in just a matter of mere seconds. Wyatt Miller is coming. He wants one of those spots as 1 and 2, good battle. Hewish and Roberts on the left-hand side of your screen. A little bit further on back, you've got Kristen Mitchell. That's 4th and 5th.
Chris, you watched Wyatt Miller a lot through the years, and it's got to be neat to watch him up through the ranks. As now the battle for the lead, it continues to be good. And Caleb, you called it. Wyatt Miller is quietly closing in on the leaders.
He is sneaking into that screen as we've got a great high-low battle entering 1 and 2. Look out. Hewish misses the bottom coming off of 2. The path around the outside is there for Roberts to take the lead.
Well, Wyatt Miller just said thank you very much as Hewish got crossed up on the entrance to turn 3. He's now going to go outside in, make the move for second. Wyatt Miller, he doesn't have a lot of experience in this building, just a couple of years already at champion, and now in his first outing in a winged outlaw, has second, and he's looking for the lead in turn 1.
That Apex chassis by Sean Brierly hooked up around the low side of the speedway. We're coming to 1 to go. Roberts going to have to play some defense with 1 left.
Trying to go 5th to the win. Cole Roberts trying to hang on. Wyatt Miller goes to the high side. Roberts off the bottom. Big run down the backstretch for Wyatt Miller to the final 2 left-hand turns. Roberts off the inside. Wyatt Miller hangs up, but Cole Roberts going to win heat race number 4.
What a battle here in this heat race number 4. Cole Roberts hanging on. Wyatt Miller, a valiant effort to P2. Hewish, Autumn Christie, and Jet Yantis rebounds for a top 5 finish, but Wyatt Miller making some early noise here at the Tulsa Shootout.
That's what you got to do. Big points on the line for Miller as he's already put himself together a nice little qualifier score. 4 heat races into this with 24 to go here on New Year's Eve at the 40th annual Smiley's Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, powered by NOS Energy Drink. Our 5th heat race looks like this. Aiden Perdue is on the pole from Illinois in the 37. Brett Osborne next to him in the 99. Brody McLaughlin, the 59. 10P of Brian Potter, Ryder McCutcheon, the 5M. And Matthew Baldwin, the 69X. Matt Carr's the 93. Braden Jones, the 5J. Darren Brown, the 11D. And Joe Bennett, the 541. 10 cars, 8-lap heat races, all shootout long here on FloRacing.
Well, I know a lot of these drivers watch our Flow broadcast in the staging lane, and Blake, they just saw what Wyatt Miller was doing, what some of these other drivers are doing. There's plenty of room to race out here.
Track very good. A high line very, very fast. The bottom line's working. Heat race number 5 getting ready to come to the green. Look at them stacked up. We're ready to go. Heat 5 is underway.
Aiden Perdue, the shootout veteran, gets to the top of turn number 2 and trying to get away from Brett Osborne as the field 3 wide in the back of the pack as they come to finish the very first lap.
Wow, Matthew Baldwin nearly just took the wall down on entering this turn number 3 as they scatter through turn 1 and 2. Braden Jones caught in the middle there for a minute as Matt Carr was making his way through. Meanwhile, they're still duking it out here on lap 2.
3 wide through turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, guys. This racetrack, the middle starting to work in just a little bit. It'll hang out and be decent for a couple of heat races.
Look how high up on the track they are. 5 heat races into this. Track crew's done a great job giving us a racy surface here at this point in time of the program. Matt Carr, the veteran, knows where to put it. He's moved forward to 4th, but right now your leader, Aiden Perdue, from the pole, doing what he has to.
Yeah, now single file at the front of the field. We'll see what kind of speed Matt Carr has. As you take a look back at this gaggle of race cars from about 5th on back. Braden Jones in that 5J. Millbridge regular on the inside. Looks for 2 for 1 here on the bottom. 3 wide off of 4.
I thought Darren Brown was going to try to split the difference between them for a second, but he got caught in the middle, and there's our commentator's curse as we mentioned Darren Brown. Oh, no, it's Potter. Sorry, Tim P. of Potter was the car getting through. So Potter is the one around. No curse levied. Potter to the back of the field, and we will have 3 laps to go here in the heat race.
Clear. And Chris Moore, he's got a heat race winner at the top of the ramp.
Yeah, I've got Cole Roberts. We're going to become friends because I really like his hat. Cole, the racetrack early on, a lot of guys say early in, you get a heat race early, it's not really great. Track seems really racy all over right now.
It's gnarly. This might be the earliest I've ever seen us move up in the heats. I mean, I watched Clinton beat it down, and I was like, okay, we'll be all right. And it just took so long just selling out to get by the guy on the bottom. It's actually really freaking even right now, so I'm loving it and wish we could run 20 more laps.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
There you go, Cole Roberts. Guys, Blake, he held off Wyatt Miller better than Iowa held off Missouri.
Oh, you just had to take a shot, didn't you, Chris?
Wow.
I guess I deserve that.
Getting it started early here at the shootout. Back under the green flag with 3 to go in heat race 5, and it's Purdue back on the loud pedal this time around into turns 3 and 4.
Sneaking up, Brody McLaughlin and Matt Carr coming into the picture here. Watch those 2 for 3rd and 4th, both talented racers on their own. Carr up on the high side, might have the lane. Unfortunately for him, Osborne moves up the block at just the right time.
He does. Carr so 7 to 4. He wants 3rd. McLaughlin trying to hang on as now they go to the top side. Here comes sliding through the middle, the 5M of Ryder McCutcheon, but crossover move as Brody McLaughlin tries to make something happen, but the checkered flag waves, and it's all Aiden Purdue, a 3-time shootout A-main starter in his own right, gets a heat race win here in 2025. Osborne, Carr, McCutcheon, and Brody McLaughlin, your top 5.
Impressive run for Aiden Purdue there. I mean, he just ran away off of multiple restarts. Very impressive.
Guy knows what it takes to get her done here around the shootout, as he's been to enough of them at this point in time. Know when you start on the pole, you have got to pick up those 100 points, else it is death to your scoring chances here at the Tulsa Shootout. As we're ready for the 6th heat race, making their way out of the racetrack.
Brody Bridgman on the front row in the 141. Jake Nail to the outside in the 14R. Row 2, you'll see the pride of Mifflintown, Pennsylvania, Tyler Walton in the 14H and Thomas Koonsman Jr. in the 21K. Dalton Pereira in the 51J and Gage Weldon in the 35G make up row 3. Row 4, Bryant Dawson in the 99D and Mac Leopard in the 87. Final row, Keegan Ostowski in the 2J and Kyle Larson, Young Money from the 10 spot. He told me before the race is not comfortable in the micro.
Yeah, it takes a minute. He ran Millbridge a couple times. We'll see what he can do here in this heat race from the back after that 18-hour flight from Australia.
I don't believe him for a minute.
Look at the move. Jake Nail and Tommy Koonsman trying to thread the needle. Tyler Walton, there's too many 14 cars in this heat race. As they're going to make through, Walton gets up, punts the wall. Koonsman gets punted on the way by Nail, getting physical out there, and it's just getting started.
This looks like a qualifier for these winged outlaw micros as Koonsman finally dispatches of at least Waltman for now. He goes, sets his attack on Jake Nail, side by side, already looking for 2nd. Here they go, down the back straightaway to 3 and 4 for the lead. Tommy Koonsman will try to grab it. He can't get it.
So much for Larson not being comfortable. He's up to 3rd. Yeesh. Working his way forward, make it 4th right now as he dispatches Bridgman's 114. He's trying to close in on Walton, who's losing contact with your top 2. So on the right side, there's Larson of the 83 working to the bottom on Walton, who's got a driller of his own. Meanwhile, battle for the lead on the other side. Nail and Koonsman with Koonsman distancing himself.
Kyle Larson picks up a spot there, Chris. He'll take it from Tyler Walton, a guy that Earl sees off and on at Port Royal Speedway in a 410 and a Race Saver sprint car. Larson from 10th to 3rd, racking up the points. But how about Thomas Koonsman Jr. gets the lead and now stretching it out to nearly a 2nd.
He knows a thing or two about what it takes to put it in the show and run well on Saturday night, and Tommy Koonsman's rolling away, the PA native. But Kyle Larson, you said it, told you he was uncomfortable in a micro. I beg to differ. 10th to 3rd right now.
Well, you're the best in the world, it just takes a lap or 2. As Tommy Koonsman flying the front end off the berm, he's going to take the W. Nail 2, and Larson 10-2-3 without having hit the track until now.
Yeah, he got 2 laps, he said. Got here just in time.
Incredible stuff. Let's go back upstairs to the top of the ramp. Earl Hoon Jr., who do you have?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I got Aiden Purdue with me, and Aiden was so excited he almost actually threw away that heat race win because he almost, and I'm talking about inches, forgot to go to the scales. You were giving your family and your crew a heart attack up here, buddy.
Yeah, you know, they pull a little switcheroo on us there. You know, they move the scales. You know, normally they're just right there. You know, you can't miss them. But luckily we made that. You know, it's tough coming from starting on the pole there. A lot of guys are getting some passing points, you know, kind of missing an opportunity. It feels like it's always tough starting there. You always want to start a little farther back, get some passing points. But no, we're pretty good. All 4 classes here are feeling really good after practice, and pretty stoked to get back to it.
Aiden Purdue, guys, capitalizing on a primo starting position. And Blake Anderson, I'm going to go check in on the Penn State score.
Well, green flag out. Travis Berge, Austin Sanders on the front row. Green light is on, so the start sticks for now. And give the advantage to Saunders make it, who has made his way to the bottom of the racetrack. That is Kyle Busch. Trying to clear him up and around. Got some NASCAR star power the last 2 heat races.
Certainly do, although Kyle lately has been a micro master. He track champion at Millbridge Speedway this year, along with his son Brexton, who won a restricted championship. And Kyle now around the outside. Remember, he went 8-1 a couple of years ago? Well, he's got so many starts now, and there he goes, back to the lead.
I can tell you one thing. You got Big Al on the wrenches.
Yeah.
Your car is going to be fast. It's going to be good, and Big Al's got Kyle tuned in. But, man, the racing through the field has been phenomenal. Noah Carpenter picks up a spot there. Harley Holland trying to work his way through the field in the 14 car. Got a trail of cars right in front of him. He'll try to thread the needle and make it 3 wide.
The former now 600 champion working his way forward. That's Sokol in the 25 car. Colorado kid trying to work to the low side to get around the 9 of Keith McIntyre Jr. But up top, Harley Holland, the veteran. Holland, the male, coming off the corner looking for another spot.
What a move from Harley Holland. Continues to pound the top side of this racetrack, trying to get around Justice Sokol. He'll pull even down the back straight. He got the line taken away. He'll jump to the bottom of the racetrack. He's trying to short slide, can't get it done. And boy, what a battle we have here for the 5th spot.
Sokol playing some defense as they work their way into turn number 1. Coming up on the back of McIntyre. McIntyre now into the low side as we're down to 2 to go. Make it 1 to go for your race leader. This has been easy mode for Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch through turns 3 and 4. We'll see the checkered flag, and there he's got it. Kyle Busch, a heat race winner yet again at the Tulsa Shootout. Made it look easy here in heat race number 6, 7. Second was Austin Saunders, Noah Carpenter, Justice Sokol, Keith McIntyre, top 5. Harley Holland fell back a spot there at the end to finish 6. Let's go back upstairs, Chris Moore.
Yeah, I got the winner of heat number 6 here, Tommy Koonsman. Tommy, at least the first 5 laps or that or so was the best racing we've seen so far. How fun was it to be a part of?
Oh, it was a blast out there. The track's really good right now. You know, I was just trying to get ahead of them there, you know, going 4th to 1st, and Wingdale was decent. I know it's hard to pass in this class, so glad we were able to do that, and I can sleep a little better tonight.
Good luck the rest of the week.
Thank you.
There you go, guys. Tommy Koonsman, a guy desperately searching for driller number 1 here at the Shootout.
It shocks me that he doesn't have one with how good he's been in this building, Caleb, over the years.
He's on a very short list of guys that you'd go, wait, that guy doesn't have one? It happens. Colin Crawford, Blake Parmley in the front row of this. Garrett Benson, the G-Man, and Reese Shelton, row 2. Cullen Hutchinson, Ryan Timms, row 3. Gary Taylor, Giancarlo Ramasar in row number 4. And more in row number 5. Eric Patello back there, amongst others, as we are green.
Tyler Ruth bringing up the field. Green flag already dropped on this one as Colin Crawford, Blake Parmley duking it out. Here comes G-Man, Garrett Benson. Contact there across the nose as Blake Parmley is going to lose his spot, and through the middle goes the 48 of Colin Crawford.
And Garrett Benson takes the lead for a moment off the bottom. He'll try to slide up across the nose and take the lead from Colin Crawford off of turn number 4. Garrett Benson going to lead lap number 2. Will slam the door close. Here comes Ryan Timms to the middle. Ryan Timms on the move in the 12.
Ryan Timms taking no prisoners, splits the difference and goes to the low side in 3 and 4. Cross the nose, he comes on Benson. 2 youngsters duking it out front, but Crawford not done. He's going to throw the move in 1 and 2.
It's a 3 or 4 car race for the lead. Ryan Timms running for Frank DeLucia in the Stallard chassis, doing a masterful job as Cohen moves up the racetrack. Timms back to 2nd. That allows Garrett Benson to try to run away and hide, but boy, what a tussle for the leader early.
I thought we were in Tulsa, not Slide Job City here tonight. As back after him goes Crawford, can't make the pass. Benson scooting away from Timms down the back straightaway. He's opened her up quite a bit. ahead as we have got one on its side and the yellow lights blink on.
Blake Parmley in the 6 on his side. Man, Garrett Benson, how impressive is that young man? Caleb, we're lucky enough to see, I think, certainly one of the rising stars in sprint car racing weekly at Skagit Speedway with Levi Hillier. But Garrett Benson, another 14-year-old, a winner in a 360 sprint car this year at Double X Speedway. Kyle Busch is up on the ramp with Earl Hoon Jr.
Yeah, thank you, Blake. Kyle Busch here with me, and it was all smiles when he got out of that car because he is absolutely happy how that car performed. To Kyle, I told you that you won that heat race over 2 seconds, so that has to give you a lot of confidence going into the rest of the week.
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, Big Al and Aaron on the wrenches, they've been doing a really, really good job this week, and I tell you what, man, these Outlaw cars are so much fun because there's so much power in them, and that Lucas Oil with that Lineman motor is the great combination. It was really, really ripping that high side. So loved it. All's good right now. Feels good. Want to go tune on it a little bit more and be ready for hopefully a qualifier when it comes time for the Outlaw car. But plenty of more racing action here to go this week on Flow. So appreciate everybody tuning in at home.
Kyle Busch, a heat race winner here at the Tulsa Shootout, guys.
Running all 4 open classes here at the Tulsa Shootout, and talking to Kyle over the course of the year, running micros at Millbridge, and he is hooked. And you see the joy he has, not only getting to share it with his son Brexton, who's rising in his own career, but to kind of go back to your roots, learn a new discipline. He has taken this thing full 100% and is enjoying every minute of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he locks in, if not one, but multiple A-mains here this week.
Clearly, he's got the talent. We've always known that about Kyle Busch. It is the experience, the seat time, etc. And, of course, running a full year this year, every chance that he got out at a quality place like Millbridge with great competition has only sharpened his skills. So expect Kyle to be a contender here this week at the 40th annual Smiley's Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, powered by NOS Energy Drink.
Guy that I'm excited to see back in a car. Doesn't get to race a ton. Caleb, he's from our neck of the woods. A GT, Gary Taylor up in 5th, driving for Muffin in the 5th spot. Gary doesn't get to race a ton, working on Indy cars and next cars, but great to see him back in a car. He's charging Ford already up into the 5th spot in that red 51F.
With 3 laps to go, he probably needed that caution flag to come out right there because that bunches his field up, and Gary is so good at these mid-race restarts. John's going to have that car tuned up. Let's see if GT can put her forward another spot or 2.
Green flag back in the air with 3 laps to go. It's Timms in 2nd, Crawford in 3rd, trying to chase down Garrett Benson for the lead. Those were the 3 that were really duking it out. Here goes Timms, trying to show a nose to Benson here with 2 laps to go. Has one opportunity maybe to reel him back in, but it could be too little too late. Gary Taylor trying to join the party as well as the white flag comes out this time.
Taylor stuck by Hutchinson, who was running out of the Sea of Sam stable of cars. He's up to 4th as this one gonna belong to the youngster. Garrett Benson bounces her off at 4, and he will take the win in the heat race. Benson with the W in heat race number 8. Timms, Crawford, Taylor, and Hutchinson round out your top 5.
3rd to 1st for Garrett Benson, picking up some of those passing points. Quarter of the way done already, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, don't jinx, dude.
I had to do it.
It's his first shootout.
Yeah,
He'll learn.
It's night 1. Calm down. We got plenty of time. Earl and Chris Moore they got 3 hours.
They'll be fine.
Yeah. We'll be good.
Man, that was talk about a tough heat race there, though. Loaded.
Well, they all are, right? There's always a somebody to watch, if not multiple people to watch at every single heat race. And this is a star-making event here at the Tulsa Shootout as we have guys come and make their names through these races, through the A-mains that are coming up later on in the week. So we take a look at race number 9 for the Winged Outlaws, the WFO Winged Outlaws. Chase Porter and Dalton Gabbard, Ryder LaPlante, Will Scribner, Dylan Mendito, Cortland Stevens, Jacob Johnston, Grayson Springer, Peter Smith, and look at the guy who drew 10th for this heat race. Eyes to the back as Steven Snyder Jr. in the 21S going to be starting 10th on this.
No tongue rolling in this one, Chris Wilner.
No.
He rolled it pretty good last time.
He did. And I tell you what, Steven Snyder Jr., what hasn't he won in a micro?
Oh.
I mean, even just this year alone, you look at, his Power Eye Non-Wing National Championship, High Banks Hustle, KKM Challenge, he was a winner. He won the Hagopian at Plaza Park. I mean, he's won just about everything you can in a micro, and boy, he would love to have a driller in his pocket.
19 wins, 32 top 5s, amongst other things. The kid is an absolute stud, and if the nation doesn't know about Steven Snyder Jr., they haven't been paying attention because this guy can race. We get our first little I'm going to say breather in between heat races here, because it has been going off just bang, bang, bang. For a second, you've got a little track work happening up around the top side of the racetrack. So finally, a little maintenance on a absolutely dynamite surface so far. The racing has been incredible. Let's kick things up top. We've got a K1 Race Gear interview. Chris Moore has got Garrett Benson.
Yeah, we've got our buddy Garrett Benson here. Garrett, another wild heat race out there. What were you thinking when Ryan Timms came at you with that bomb in 3 and 4?
I didn't know if I should have railed around the top or lifted, but I was trying to get off the gas and turn down the hill, but I'd been talking to my guys and just didn't hot lap the way I wanted to, and I thought it was the way the car was handling, the way I didn't feel right, but I got to hot lap the A-Class car after the Outlaw, and I tried different things and really learned about how to enter the corner, and the corners are so round here, so once I figured that out, and it needed I was talking to my dad on the way down here, and like when you slide someone or get slid, you got to put them away, so just kind of slid myself there, and I had enough drive off the corner. The England Machine and Tool motor, or England Machine Tool injection and Specialized motor, was ripping off the corner. So a huge thanks to Tim and Brad for giving me this opportunity. Without them, we wouldn't even be here. So just really happy with how we started this week off. That should give us some good points. So hopefully we start good in the qualifier and get to the front. But a huge thanks to everyone, and really excited to be back down here.
There you go, guys. Garrett Benson, a young man who knows not just what he's doing behind the wheel, but how to tell you about it, too.
And he gets the noogie from Earl Hoon on the way out.
Who wants that? That was probably the worst part of his night.
I guarantee that was the worst part of his night.
It's been so cool to watch him grow up in this building.
He had one of those ultimate agony of defeat kind of moments a few years back in the junior sprint division, where it was just that close within his grasp, and we've seen so many times in the junior sprints when lap traffic and slower traffic just does something you don't expect. It's junior sprint racing for you, right? And
yep.
Oops.
And he's been so close too. I mean, last year he made 3 of the 4 A mains. I mean, there was only one driver last year, KJ Snow, that did all 4. So to even make 2, let alone 3, is an accomplishment. And I believe before his racing career is over, whenever that is, he will be a Tulsa Shootout winner. It's just a matter of when, not if.
It's those tough moments you got to go through to earn the good ones. So we'll see what this year holds. And that's the thing about racing here at the Expo Raceway. This racetrack exists 30 days a year for 2 events. So you don't get a lot of tries at it, but comes around every time of the year, and running 4 divisions, he's going to maximize every chance he's got at it. As cars are on the track, we'll see them roll through the line of water that was just put down and start them on down low and see how much moisture they can work in as we get ready for this next heat race.
Eyesight getting very good.
It is.
They figured they probably had to speed the bottom up just a little bit.
And, we talk about this every year. If you are a social media, user and you have Twitter or X, follow Brad Chandler, Chili Bowl Gravel. He live tweets once a year, and it's for Shootout and Chili Bowl. He's the head track prep crew official of the entire Expo Raceway. He is here dawn till dusk, sometimes does not sleep, but he always provides us updates about what his mind is, his thought process is on working the racetrack. He was here very early this morning. They were here very late last night, but this is going according to plan. At least a few hours ago, he tweeted saying that he really liked what he's seen, and it should shape up to be well. And guys, we've been in for a treat so far.
Steve Hahn was watering at 4 a.m. this morning here at the Expo Raceway.
Not surprising, knowing Steve.
And interestingly enough, in that pre-race update that Brad threw out there, he warned the drivers about the berm. He had said we have not seen a whole lot of them putting the left front up on it. People who have gotten themselves into trouble. So the berm racing is usually a feature of both Shootout and Chili Bowl that we've come to expect. So far, the berm has been dangerous to anybody who's gotten there. We'll see if that keeps up, because they are willing to reshape this track as the week goes on.
And we've seen that in years past at the Chili Bowl.
Yes.
When they went back to the track scans from iRacing to kind of get it dialed back in just a couple of years ago. Technology is a beautiful thing sometimes. Here we go. Heat number 9 is underway.
It's a nice start from Chase Porter. Porter's going to come through the middle of the racetrack. Down to the bottom goes the 3. Will Scribner finding some room to race. We got one sideways. There's that berm we talked about, up on it and to a stop. Caution flag will come out for the 29D of Dylan Mendito, drawing the yellows.
Good start there outside of row number 4 for Grayson Springer, the Indiana racer. A couple of now 600 wins this year. Has had some midget starts in his career, including a Chili Bowl here a couple of years ago. Has 4 wins on the year. Keep an eye on him in one of those hyper chassis. So Steven Snyder Jr., we mentioned him. And Grayson Springer could be one to watch. And as the chairs get shuffled, we welcome heat race number 3 winner, Clinton Boyles.
Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Well, not as good as you.
I'm doing all right, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to be as good as you. That was impressive.
Thanks. Yeah, no, just really good race cars, all that was. So made my life pretty easy from the pole there.
When I heard Bernie was getting involved in the micro sprint world, I'm like, oh, yeah, that'll be a contender.
Yeah,
immediately.
Absolutely.
The guy doesn't field bad equipment everywhere and always puts the best of the best together. And boy, what a good situation it is up in that camp.
Yeah, we have really, really good race cars, and between Bernie and Joe Axum, two probably the smartest people in the pit area. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun up there in the 71 camp right now.
Even for a guy who doesn't have a lot of micro experience, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
When was the last time you were in a micro before here?
I ran one last year outdoors at Port City, and then last time I was here was 9 years ago.
Wow. Well, guys, it is the opposite of the start here on the heat race again. Porter jumped out the first time. This time, Dalton Gabbard taking advantage, going high to low, cuts him off, gets to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll lead lap number 1 over Gabbard, and then Ryder LaPlante got ahead of the 3-car of Scribner that time to hang on to 3rd.
And here comes Steven Snyder Jr. 10th, has already passed 4 or 5 cars, making another one as he cracks the top 5, and Steven Snyder Jr. is up to 4th.
Oh boy, Steven Snyder Jr. on the march, high side, hooked up for him. He's working with Johnston. Johnston trying to take the position back, but all that momentum coming off the top of turn number 4, propelling Snyder as he closes on the plant for 3rd.
Just look how high the cushion is this part. We're at heat race number 9 of the night as we hit the halfway point, and Snyder had his right rear in 1 and 2 nearly on the fence. And see how high he gets this time, right at the center. Not as big, but he is on the move, running the fastest lap of the race the last time by, sub 12 seconds.
It's a thin cushion up there, though. You notice normally when the cars are up there, we're getting showered with clay here in the Brian Kapinski announce booth, and right now we're feeling nothing with as far as those cars are up on the wall.
Yeah, big moment there for Steven Snyder getting turn 1, and that just shows you the fine line that it is up there. You got to be really precise getting in because there's a hole underneath you and crumbs above you. So if you don't hit it just right, you're going to miss the moisture.
Ooh, LaPlante coming across the nose of the back straightaway. He'll retake 3rd as we're down to 1 lap to go.
That was a strong move from LaPlante to try to take it to the winningest micro driver this year on the big stuff. But final lap, battle for the lead. How about this? Chase Porter couldn't make it. Dalton Gabbard holds on. Ryder LaPlante, though, holds off Steven Snyder Jr. for that 3rd spot. So Steven Snyder Jr. 10-4 run as Grayson Springer rounds out the top 5 as you look at your finishing order.
Still a nice run for Springer. That's going to be quality points going into qualifier for him. The easy way to think about it is it's plus 5 points for every position that you pick up coming through the field. So well done for Snyder Jr. and Dalton Gabbard getting the win using that 2nd try at the start to his advantage. Forward we move. Joe's Rant Camp on screen. Race number 10, Mason Beinhauer and Daniel Schaefer on the front row. Kevin Thomas Jr. versus Derek Hagar in row number 2. Brody Wake and Hayden Wise in row 3. Robbie Brockman and Michael Hubert in row 4. Cruz Dickerson and Brady Amos making up row number 5.
Good to see KTJ back at the shootout. Of course, wasn't here last year, but 2 years ago put it in the show in Outlaw Non-Wing as a little bit of cleanup duty on the racetrack. And Clinton, I know we talked about your heat race, but surprised how good the track was early for heat race 3, and then heck, we're just now at heat race 10, and we've got 3 lanes to work with.
Yeah, I was really pumped that they didn't just overwork it. You know, being from the pole, it would have been good for me, but for you guys back at home, it was awesome to see, wide racing that quickly into our heat races. So the guys have done a great job, I felt like, all day long with the track. It was never really one lane other than maybe your first 5 or 10 races or hot lap sessions on the track. So, props to them for rolling into this and nailing the track prep right off the bat.
So teammates, guys, in row number 2, Kevin Thomas Jr. and Derek Hagar were both racing for Gatewood Power Sports out of Missouri. They're going to go side by side and hopefully find their way around Beinhauer and Schaefer. I know BJ Gatewood's got to be a little nervous at the moment with both his cars stacked up together. Green flag is out, and let's watch him make a Beinhauer sandwich coming out of 2.
Yeah, Mason didn't get up and go and got taken advantage by both of those cars. KTJ still working on the bottom side of Hagar as Derek puts it on the top side of the racetrack. Beinhauer trying to make A little bit of a comeback here, but that's allowing Daniel Schaefer, though, at the front of the field to start to run away.
So Schaefer, your leader. Hagar is second. Kevin Thomas Jr. gets up to the high side in turns 1 and 2. Beinhauer settling into the 4th spot. It's Wake 5 as there's a look at your leader coming off the bottom of 4. Hagar trying to run him down. 2 very distinct lines in between them. As he'll work that driven chassis up and around the lip of the Expo Raceway. Further back in the field, Beinhauer, Wake, now Wise in the 94, and the 33 of Dickerson closing in to make that a battle.
Yeah, Hayden's doing a nice job. A 2-time winner at Millbridge. Her first career wins in a micro in the open class, and now she's got the wing on top, trying to make work on Brody Wake, who slips up to the top of the racetrack to block, opening Cruz Dickerson with an opportunity. So a nice 3-car battle here for 5th.
Down to the bottom, there's Dickerson seeing room underneath the both of them. Wake up on the high side, following him on through is Wise. Dickerson going to take advantage, getting down to the low groove, trying to take 6th. Unfortunately, at his 5th and 6th we're talking about, not further up in the field. Time's run out on all these drivers as we've only got 1 to go.
And checkered flag already off of turn 4 is going to wave. So for Daniel Schaefer picks up Wing Outlaw Heat Race number 10. Derek Hagar, Kevin Thomas Jr., Mason Beinhauer, and Brody Wake, your top 5, with Dickerson, Wise, Brockman, Hubert, and Amos rounding out the field.
Impressive by Daniel Schaefer coming out, picking him up, putting him down. As let's kick things up top, K1 Race Gear interview as Earl's up top.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, Dalton Gabbert here with me. And Dalton, how about it? Just told me that he hasn't raced a micro sprint here at the Tulsa Shootout since 2009. And from what the performance I just saw there, you haven't missed a step yet, buddy. Congratulations on getting that heat race win.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Got a big shout out to the crew, Eric, D1, all the guys back there. They give me a good piece, make it easy. Thought we were going to get screwed there with that track where you work being on the outside, but luckily we got an extra restart at it to get me to figure it out. So we're looking forward to the rest of the week, see what happens.
Dalton Gabbert, guys, a heat race winner here at the 40th running of the Smiley's Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, powered by NOS Energy Drink. I do want to keep you things updated what's happening at the top of the ramp. Chris Moore can also confirm on this that tensions are starting to get a little high up here right now, guys.
People are hot? No way.
I mean, it's a little warm in here. Tulsa weather's been pretty balmy, but we'll have to get more on that as we move on. Heat race number 11. Green flag is out for Chloe Cotton, Rob Pajais, Daniel Smith, Derek Black, Eddie Ramsey, Alan Hazel, Cameron Campbell, Joby Miller, Maverick Page, and Cannon Posey in this one.
And there is Joe B going 3 wide off the corner, narrow up there, but he will use it to pick up a couple of spots. So Joe B. Miller on the move. In fact, already up to 3rd in this one. Pajais being eyeballed down the front straightaway for 2nd.
Yeah, Joe B, every time he's in a winged outlaw car here at the Shootout, reminiscent of 2017 when he went last to first to win a driller, knows this place like the back of his hand, and when this car is dialed up, he is a threat to make the show each and every year, and he's making work on the top side as the caution flag comes out with one turned around in turn 3 and 4. That's Derek Black in the 72D. Let's go back upstairs quickly to Chris Moore with Daniel Schaefer.
Yeah, I've got 46-year-old Daniel Schaefer. He is whooped. 8 laps. What are you going to do if you make the A main?
Well, I'm probably going to, I might pass out in the seat. No, we're on for a good week, I think. We put a lot of work into this car. My wife, she works her tail off, and got a lot of good people behind me. MJM Engines, Syndicate Performance Injection, Ryan Truitt, the dyno, he's got these things absolutely tuned up. So I think we're in for a good week if I can catch a little luck, which I usually don't have in this building. So we'll see.
Good luck.
Thanks, sir.
There you go, Daniel Schaefer, guys. He looked really strong up there on the top side. He looked a lot better than he did when he got out of the car. He was making a lot of noises and breathing heavy.
Maybe one of our people can catch up with him with an oxygen bottle? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Well, it goes to tell you, too, how hard you have to drive these cars. I mean, Clint, you know. Like, these micros, you can't half throttle. I mean, you've got to drive it in that corner so hard just to keep the momentum up.
Well, I could tell you real quick, when we talked, he said it's not that bad. He said it's just hard keeping up with these kids.
Well,
I can agree with that. I'm starting to get old, so.
Oh, stop.
As a resident old man on this crew, I present that.
Well, I guess racing old is different, right?
Yeah.
You've been doing it since you're a little kid. All right, let's get back under the green flag, and it'll be 2 laps scored.
This sets up so well for Joe B. Miller, getting to catch right up to the back.
Well, there he goes, just threw it in there to turn 3. Excuse me, coming through. Joe B's got the spot away from Pajais. He's going to look for Chloe Cotton for the lead, and he'll get there here, coming to 3 laps to go this time.
Joby's car really handles the holes really well, getting into 3 and getting into 1. You see it right here, he kind of splits the difference with his rear tires and doesn't upset it too bad. That's a really tricky spot on the racetrack.
Joe B. Miller trying to hunt down Chloe Cotton, who's worked up to the high groove now. So a lane change for Cotton right at the midway point. 2 laps left. Miller is going to go to the bottom, and he's really not shrinking this advantage, guys.
I mean, it's to the point where you got to go where they're not here in this heat race. Wasn't going to get there and get by Chloe if he ran the top, although I'm surprised he didn't just try to get his momentum back up here on the white flag lap. Meanwhile, you're looking back at Cannon Posey making some nice moves for the Hoosier, but off of 4, Chloe Cotton's going to hang on to a heat race win. Joe B. Miller, though, the story in this one, coming from deep outside row number 4 to finish second. Pajais, Daniel Smith, and Cannon Posey, your top 5.
Take a look at the unofficial results. Drivers go all up to the top of the ramp where they've got away. Sometimes they'll take a tire sample off of winner, a couple random cars. It'll happen, but again, all results unofficial until validated. The Tulsa Shootout official Twitter will be popping out some official results after a couple of seconds. So if you want to find out, just in case anybody got tipped over, because we've seen that a time or two, or someone forgot to make the scales, whatever it is, that will happen. Race number 12, Jacob Mosley, Bobby Wofford Jr., Curtis Jones, and KJ Snow make up an interesting row number 2. Alec Frizzell and Jaden Friesen in row 3. Hayden Maben, Cannon McIntosh in an interesting row number 4. And follow them up with Chase Picola and Devin Myers. This ought to be a fun heat race 12.
And track's in prime position for some pretty good fireworks here in heat race number 12. I mean, where do you look? KJ Snow, obviously we know the talent he is behind the wheel with that D1 chassis, of course, made all 4 shows here last year, but then you look at Curtis Jones, his experience in this building, Hayden Mabe, Cannon McIntosh trying to get another driller in his pocket as well. Stars aligning here in heat race number 12 as off of corner number 4, this one is green.
Watching them through the corner. They're 3 wide down the straightaway up to the top, and bye-bye KJ Snow coming off the corner. That's what KJ Snow can do.
Just made it look easy as KJ takes over the top spot on lap number 1 from 4th. Running the top behind is Jaden Friesen, trying to make something happen as well. Friesen, a really successful 2024 season. Dips to the bottom side of the racetrack here, following in his footsteps, Jacob Mosley in that 14M.
And following him is the 14S of Cannon McIntosh. McIntosh cruising up and around the top. He's going to eat up Mosley, work his way into 3rd, and set his sights for Friesen in 2nd. Going to have to take him a lap or 2 to run him down. We're 3 in, 5 to go, and actually make it halfway, 4 down, 4 remaining on the legend.
There's a good about 6 car lengths back from Friesen to McIntosh, but McIntosh is ripping right now. You should take a look at the 91 of Frizzell in that 7th spot, trying to get around Mabe in the 52H. So pass opportunity here for 6 as the laps continue to wind down. Snow has the lead, and McIntosh not closing in quite on Friesen as those two have pulled away.
Top 3 are kind of spaced out evenly, nobody catching each other, nobody really distancing themselves from anyone else except for the rest of the field, as you can see on the big wide zoomed out shot. White flag, KJ Snow, the Steffi Motorsports 24X, looking fast here in this heat race and about to pocket some points heading towards qualifiers. As he's off the final turn, he'll take the checkered flag.
The Winged Outlaw track champ at Plaza Park this year, KJ Snow, a heat race win to kick off his 2025 Tulsa Shootout. Jaden Friesen, Cannon McIntosh, your top 3 with Chase Picola, Hayden Mabe, and Jacob Mosley rounding out your top 6. Earl Hoon back at the top of the ramp.
Thank you, Chris Wilner. Yeah, 14-year-old Chloe Cotton able to pick up a heat race win. And Chloe, your family and crew were a little excited because they saw Joe B. Miller starting to close you down at the final stages of that heat race. Did you know that he was starting to close in that fast?
No, I had no idea, but I saw them telling me to go to the top, and I was like, oh, somebody's definitely behind me then. So I shot up there instantly and was able to secure it.
How about it, guys? Chloe Cotton, one of our young lady racers, able to pick up a heat race win.
She did what she needed to do. That lane change was key. on that about 3 laps to go, Clinton. When she moved to the top to take the line away, it was almost game over if you're Joe B.
Yeah, I felt like she was really strong on the bottom, but, we talk about watching the screen, watching people around, give you hints on where to be, and that was a really good move for her to get to the top to seal that win up.
Finally, a chance to breathe here for a second on our broadcast here at FloRacing, the 40th annual Tulsa Shootout, Smiley's Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, powered by NOS Energy Drink. Glad to have you with us as you see the Donnie Ray Crawford 2-seater out there. In the last couple of years, I've been in it, Chris has been in it. Question is, who can we convince off the FloRacing team to jump in the 2-seater this year?
Chris Moore has been chomping at the bit, so we just need to get him hooked up with Jake Rosario, who's driving the car, as he does every year, giving the raffle or the auction winners an opportunity to get a couple laps in the 2-seater, and what an experience that is. Pretty cool, one of the highlights for many fans. They get a chance to do it over the course of the Tulsa Shootout and the Chili Bowl Nationals.
Car rips around this place. Now, granted, after what we've seen over these first few Winged Outlaw heat races, we definitely have some cars ripping out there, but tell you what, from that passenger seat to the behind seat, it's quite the sensation back there, and Jake will give him a good time no matter what. It's probably a non-wing sprint car worth a, I don't know, length, you think? Maybe even a hair longer?
Yeah, it definitely could be longer. That's a lot of chassis there they've put together to make sure you get a comfortable ride inside the 2-seater there. And
2 full human beings worth of chassis.
I mean, running around here, quote unquote, in control like I do, I can't imagine being the person sitting in the back and having 0 control.
I told you, as somebody who's raced micros, it was an experience I didn't really, I enjoyed it, but it was weird. You can't see the corner entry. You have no feeling because you don't have the wheel in your hand.
Connected to anything.
Correct. Yeah, you're just sawing at this wheel that's just moving around, and it was wild. So, good stuff. Let's go back upstairs, and Blake Anderson has made his way to the top of the ramp. He's got KJ Snow.
KJ Snow, impressive run. Was that, you and I were talking, is that kind of like the C's parted there? You started 4th right to the high side to the lead off of turn number 2.
Yeah, I was really hoping he would kind of give me a lane going down the front straightaway. Kind of worked out. He could have easily moved up a little bit and could have ruined the whole heat race, right? But this is a shootout. You got to take chances, and got the first one out of the way. So heat race number 1 win, and hopefully we can keep all the boys happy with the pool picks and keep the momentum going.
Caleb, Chris Clinton, that's a guy that knows his way around the Tulsa Expo Center.
That's a guy who has been to a lot of K1 race gear interviews up at the top of the ramp after a winning performance. So well done, KJ Snow. Say, hauled the broken race car of the 22 of Curtis Jones out of here over the process of the 2-seater going out. Race number 13, Landon Adams and Tobias Midkiff, Alec Quiggle, Eric Erdman, Robbie Smith and TJ Smith, Jaden Wagner, Casey Bauman, Gunnar Schroyer, and Dylan Burks making up the 10, getting after it for Winged Outlaw race number 13. And of course, all eyes are going to be on outside row number 3 for TJ Smith, who finally has a driller of his own. So Smith coming out in a good spot to pick up some points. A lot of fast cars, though, in and throughout this. Take a look at TJ. Only 1 feature win in 2024, but 16 top 5s and 40 starts. The win came at Plaza Park Raceway in Visalia, the newly renovated and put together Plaza Park. Well done to the team that put that all together, Jake Agopian and the group who got that thing back up, and I don't know, fresh coat of paint and a little attention goes a long ways to making for a nice racetrack.
Absolutely. Beautiful facility out there. But yeah, TJ, I remember that shootout win. It was like a weight was lifted off his shoulders. He had been so good in this building for so long, and to see what the Tulsa Shootout means to a driver that's put in so much over the course of his career was pretty cool to see, and I know he'd love to get a chance to do that again. But you're right, he's been all over the country. He's actually been at Millbridge a couple times this year as well, had an opportunity to run a micro, so keep him busy over the course of the year. We'll see what he does here in 2025. Speaking of which, I know several parts of the world have already rung in the new year as we get closer and closer in the United States. Hoping you and yours have a wonderful New Year's Eve and a happy 2025. Cannot believe it. Where did the time go?
Our international viewership is already in 2025.
Tell us what it's like.
Hopefully good. Fingers crossed.
All right, Clint, I got to ask you, since you haven't been in a micro here in a while.
Yep.
the nerves going down the ramp, was it the same, worse, or better, or like more amplified than the Chili Bowl? What do you think?
Walking into the building this week, they were higher. Because this is, the unknown expectations. At Chili Bowl, I kind of know, the expectations of me, all that. Walking into the building, they were higher. Coming down the ramp, I felt pretty good. Four practice sessions, I felt really confident in all the race cars and the car the guys gave me. So the whole time, honestly, and through the yellows, I was just happy with where I was at and felt really confident in my race car.
All right, well, we're back underway in Winged Outlaw heat racing action. Here we go with heat race number 13, and already they are scattering in turns 1 and 2, but it's not going to matter because the caution is out, and I feel like this could be the second time we see Terry Maddox pull the old penalty out to the front row. Let's see who's the culprit.
Landon Adams in the ADL is going to go back a row.
These drivers were well made aware. I mean, Clint, I know you were there in the drivers' meeting, that the entire Expo staff made it pretty clear that they will not, there's no warnings anymore. So do it once, penalties in force. So we'll see what happens. Here's the restart now as we're back underway in heat race number 13.
Sayonara, Alec Quiggle. Bye-bye.
TJ Smith in second. I didn't see the start of the race, but he is definitely in second place.
Whatever he did, I was looking at Quiggle and checking a note real quick. It is Smith up into the 2 spot. So Smith making the big move up to second position from 6th originally. It's going to be a good score for him, but he's going to want one more.
He's going to get it here because Quiggle has a mistake, loops it around by himself, and Alec Quiggle from the lead. Oh, goodness. Just ran the fastest lap of the race and now sits high-sided there in turn 4.
Ibach Springs instant replay coming up, and here is Quiggle down on the bottom of turn number 3. Coming off the corner and into the slick and over and around.
Just overcooked it a little bit into 3 and got in that slick spot. It's really tough to tell the difference in slick and a little bit of moisture there where they put the water down, and you let your right rear just get outside of that water, and it's going to be very, very tough to hang on to it.
So Quiggle going to the back of the field here after starting up front. He's going to have a lot of scrambling to do with 5 laps to go, 3 in the books. Still a chance to try to save this, but man, it just got really hard for Alec and really easy for TJ Smith.
I was going to say, that's the easiest pass you're ever going to make. And now TJ's in the catbird seat. Eric Erdman there in now second.
Well, harken back to something that Clinton said the very first year we were on this broadcast together. They're going to give you more spots than you can take.
Yeah.
So Smith now just has to bring her on home. 5 to go. Erdman, Midkiff, Smith, Adams, back to green. Problems behind him. We got one in the wall. Cone somehow lived as they all squeaked by it, but brings the yellow out.
Gunnar Schroyer, the one coming to a slow, almost a stop. As alarms ringing here in the booth. So Schroyer will get back under power. I didn't see what happened there. I don't think he's got much
Somebody
damage.
just didn't fire off on that start.
Yeah. So it's all TJ Smith at this point here. Again, 5 laps to go. This is heat race number 13. We're going through heat race number 28 tonight. That'll conclude our WFO Winged Outlaws for their heat races to wrap up day number 1 of the Smiley Racing Products Tulsa Shootout powered by NOS Energy Drink. A busy but successful day so far. 151 hot lap sessions and 28 heat races will be what's made up of this New Year's Eve. As the lights are out, coming back to green, it's Smith, Erdman, Midkiff, and Smith. Your top 5, Robbie, that is. As back under the green flag we go.
This is almost your sneak preview with just 28 races tonight.
Yes.
Because I believe tomorrow we've got 120 on the docket. Going to be a busy, long day, and we're looking to be on the air at 9 a.m. Central. So plan for a long one with us on New Year's Day here on FloRacing. TJ Smith showing the way around. Robbie Smith, you had a quick flash of him. He's made some noise here at the shootout before. Sitting in 3rd, it's Midkiff and Bauman battling out for fourth. Down at the bottom, Bauman's found a line, can't quite get by. Midkiff closes the door and holds on to the spot for now.
Bauman was just trying to make some sort of lane work, but they got caught in the slick. There's Jaden Wagner now trying to hold off Gunnar Schroyer, who was in that last yellow, now up topside. There's also Quiggle trying to rebound from the back, but it's going to be too little too late. White flag is out for TJ Smith. But there's the gap to Eric Erdman. Good credit to Eric holding tough in that second spot. But off of corner number 4, the Californian TJ Smith, the heat race winner in heat race number 13. So it's TJ, Eric Erdman, Robbie Smith, your top 3. Tobias Midkiff, Casey Bauman, your top 5 as Gunnar Schroyer comes to a stop just after the checkered. And I'm getting word, no left rear. Well, you need 4 tires to move.
Yeah. Guys, that left rear went off the ramp where the Chili Bowl push trucks come on, and one of the officials went down there with it, went down to chase it on the four-wheeler, so up on the track he comes with that left rear.
Interestingly enough, they have got the timing scoring loop rolled back to lap number 7, and are now showing that we might still have some race to go here. So they have not been pointed up the ramp, so we may not be done, Chris. This could get a green-white checkered, maybe a green checkered.
Yeah, listening to the drivers' meeting, they do it leader +1, so 2 cars have to cross start finish for the lap to be complete. I don't know if Eric crossed the line, Eric Erdman that is. So we saw TJ cross the line, and maybe that's the ruling. So we are indeed going to go back to a 2-lap shootout. So if you're Eric Erdman, you now know, hey, if I could just keep TJ in striking distance, maybe I can throw something at him. And Robbie Smith there to capitalize as well. But all comes down to this restart for TJ Smith.
I think turn 1 is your best shot here for Erdman. Big old bomb across if you can get a good start. And I don't see the gap there. TJ protects, and Robbie Smith might be the winner in this one.
Smith, yeah, going to look for second as Erdman chose the bottom lane to follow TJ Smith. Hanging it out for P2. Robbie Smith's going to take it at the white flag. So Erdman back to third. Now, does Robbie have an opportunity on TJ Smith? Final lap down the back straightaway. Smith to the top, TJ Smith to the bottom, and Robbie's going to finish P2 to Californian TJ Smith. So it's Smith and Smith. No relation. Your top 2 here in heat race number 13.
Robbie, glad that caution ended up coming out when it did. Takes advantage of it. Picks up 5 more points for his efforts. As 9-lap heat race all finished out. TJ Smith, 3 Californians going bang, bang, bang between Cotton, Snow, and Smith, picking up heat race victories there. As you can see the chaos that is our Ghoul Pit Cam. The up and over the top view of everything. Ty Scher and Corey Kelly will lead race number 14 to the track. Braden Chiaramonte and Noah Gass, Case Piper and Alex Midkiff, Christopher Bell and Kevin Bayer in an Oklahoma legend row 4, and Aaron Jacino with Chris Carroll starting 10th in this one. Boy, 7, 8, and 10. Feel bad for Jacina getting stuck right within that range. Wow. So Christopher Bell makes his return to the Expo Raceway. He's in the yellow with fluorescent orange 21. The legend Kevin Bayer to his outside. And Chris Carroll in some new looking livery coming from 10th. Trying to track down guys like Kelly, Chiaramonte, and Gass. Going to be a good one, and we're going to take a second try at it.
And somebody's going to lose and somebody's going to win on this call from Terry Maddox.
I think the loser is going to be Chris Carroll because he had a really good start and it got to the bottom and kind of opened up a lane through 1 and 2. And I bet Christopher Bell doesn't miss the bottom again. That's something you might get once every 10 years out of him.
His last start in a micro here was 2022, so not super long ago, but when you think about the talent and the amount of racing a lot of these micro drivers do, is one pulls off.
That's Midkiff, so that gives everybody in that outside row +1. So we're back to green. It's Chiaramonte now on the low side, trying to keep his drive tires into the moisture. He'll lead going into turn number 3, but here comes Chris Carroll and Kevin Bayer.
Yeah, Bayer's making moves up to P3. Carroll right behind in that 0-5 machine.
Noah Gass is sitting there in 5th, trying to get back underneath him, but it is Carroll up top with the red wing 5, the white with red 91 of Bayer. Both of them have picked off a bunch of positions here early with a lot of time left, and it's That's Kelly in the 144. Next up on the docket for Carroll. So good here at the Expo and doing it on the high side at the moment. Carroll to within 2 car lengths as they enter turn number 3. Little bounce coming in through the corner, but lots of forward drive coming off of it as he has narrowed that gap. Big move back straight away. Doesn't quite push it till he gets to the corner. Hops through the turn off of 4. Almost even for the spot. Kelly holds it with 3 to go.
Carroll's absolutely ripping right now. Your 2021 non-wing champion here at the shootout, looking to do something with the wing on top. And he's going to get that second spot away from Kelly here with 2 laps to go. Meanwhile, Christopher Bell against Kevin Baer will get the spot. So Bell had a slow start, just gets up to the 4th spot as the white flag is out.
Bell rebounds, makes his way up into a top 4 run. That'll score him some points, looking to make a qualifier later. As here is Braden Chiaramonte. Take the checkered flag, taking advantage of the false start. And he will get the win, another California win, followed by Carroll, Kelly, Bell, and Bayer, your top 5. Up top we go to Chris Moore.
Yeah, guys, I have the 2023 non-wing outlaw Golden Driller winner, TJ Smith. TJ, you ran the top a lot in that heat race. After the yellow, though, you moved to the bottom. Why did you move?
Oh, you know, I was watching Jake on the fence, just trying to see what he wanted me to do. Couple to go, he told me to move down. I just assumed that it was getting better down there. It's a really long ways around right now. Track shaped up pretty good, though.
All right, good job. Keep it going.
Thank you.
There you go, guys. Got the non-wing outlaw championship a couple of years ago. Trying to add one with the wing this year.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. Paul Javot, James Rosselli, front row of this one. Chase Rogers, Kyle Halter, row 2. Cale Drake and Tyler Courtney making up row number 3. Jordan Clearly and Zach Gorski in row 4. Brecken Reese and Dustin Hamelman in row number 5. Eyes will be on the new house car pilot of the 14 in Sunshine, Tyler Courtney, who is still in search of his first Golden Driller.
He certainly is. He's been trying ever since we were kids. First running micros back in Indiana. Remember, he wanted to win a driller, and he told me actually earlier this week, just got engaged, by the way, said, even if I win, I'm still coming back. But the green flag is out. We'll see what Sunshine, who jumps to the top side early in this one, can do, but the yellow flag is out.
He's going to be thankful for that yellow. He didn't get a good start, but he did blow his nose wing half back.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Contact with the car in front of him, and you can see it right there.
How big of an impact, Clint, is that on these winged outlaw micros?
Man, I would initially tell you probably not that big, but there's definitely an aero factor inside this building, especially when you get running around the top side. But if you're going to have somebody that can overcome something like that, I think Sunshine's your guy.
It's still on there. It's just rolled back a little bit. It's like the nose wing clamp did its job and kind of rotated the thing backwards on the side where it made the impact. That's the exact reason that you run a clamp like that.
With the way it's twisted, I would think you're going to be a little bit tighter until you get turned in. Once you get turned into where your nose wing eagle reaches, catches air on that left sideboard, it may want to pull you around even more. So just something to think about on corner entry to make sure you get rotated and don't lose your front end when you're up close to the wall like that.
Even on a small track like this where wing speed is, I'm going to say, questionable, on something on a nose wing, it's going to make that much of an effect.
I mean, I think it'll have a little bit. It's nothing that is going to just be a night and day difference for Tyler or keep him from driving to the front here, but it's something he's going to feel in his hands the first corner, and from there he'll be adjusted and be good to go.
Lights are out. We'll see what happens. Green flag back in the air for heat race number 15.
He might get a party in the Red Seas here up and around the top. Got clogged down there as we've got a bid for the lead. Up top is Rosselli. We're going to have to try it all over again as we got one around the 78A of Gorski. Facing the wrong way. Caution lights for the second time.
We saw Tyler get really tight there through the center of 1 and 2. It's just interesting to see if that's his car or his nose wing and see how he plays out here because he can adjust things inside the cockpit.
So up top, we have got Earl ready with Braden Chiaramonte.
Yeah, Braden Chiaramonte with me out of California. Braden, we were just talking. You have yet to win some Golden Drillers. You have a couple wins when it comes to heat races and qualifiers. So with this being a heat race win again, what's it going to take here in 2024-25 to try to get your first Golden Driller?
Yeah, we are off to a really good start, going 3rd to 1. Hopefully we get those points from the guy jumping the start, but this shows us pretty good for a qualifier, I would think. Yeah, just got to work on the car a little better. We can get it a little faster. hopefully get as much points as we can in the qualifier and just go from there.
Guys, the left coast is starting to make some noise early here in the Tulsa Shootout.
So far, you are absolutely right, Earl. Now, third time's the charm. Let's get this heat race underway as, again, you watch the cars fan out to the outside. That's Cale Drake in the 14, the D1 chassis. Former KKM get-back winner, and here we go. 3 wide already, almost for a minute. Battle for the lead. And Chase Rogers has got company. Here comes Sunshine to the bottom, 2 for 1.
They're chopping it up, and Sunshine finds the clear path to make his way through. He'll put Rogers in his rear view and come after Rosselli, who's trying to knock down the cushion in 1 and 2, way up and around the racetrack as we watch the battle for third. Rogers in the 5, Drake in the 14, Javot up and around the edge of the 88 for third.
Javot doing a nice job, though, although now got caught in the middle, and that'll allow Cale Drake to retain that position in that 4th spot. But there is all sorts of action going on in this racetrack. Even farther back, Brecken Reese making something happen, and Jordan Clary in the 72 joining the party on the bottom.
And Brecken Reese getting the nose involved in this one. Working his way forward, Clary as well. Javot has used just about every inch of the racetrack here in turn 4. He's tried high, he's tried low, he's tried to run through the middle, and just nothing sticking for him yet. Well, he's hung on to 5th, and he's still right up on Drake for 4th. As you take a look at your leader, Rosselli with 2 to go. Looking good out in front of this field. Sunshine not closing on him.
Not closing, but Tyler's now starting to get wound up on the outside, but he's got to be careful. One small move, and Chase Rogers is there to capitalize on the bottom, but Rosselli is out to lunch. A full straightaway lead now as he'll come around through turns 3 and 4, ripping the lip here at the Expo Raceway and win heat race number 15. A good margin over Sunshine, Tyler Courtney, Chase Rogers, Cale Drake, and Paul Javot in your top 5. So in heat race 15, 2 to 1 for James Rosselli. Tyler Courtney, a 6 to 2. Solid effort, even with that nose wing damage.
And that'll be a quick fix back in the pit area for him. Just rotate that little clamp back forward, take a look at everything else, and set him on his way. But Rosselli ends the California streak as we'll move forward here on our program on FloRacing. We are going to take a very quick time out, doing a little bit of track maintenance on the moment. We will be back with more as you are watching our live coverage of the 40th annual Smiley's Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, powered by NOS Energy Drink on FloRacing.